Shalom, Havarim. Wow, it's great to see everyone here scrolling by. The Father had me catch up real quick with one of our ESS alums, Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. And I see, I think Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa's here with us too. Awesome. Good to see you, sister. And everyone here that Abba has drawn to the table for the next thing he wants us to chew on, to meditate on, to go deeper with him. You know, he was kind of talking to me today about the chew on this series and really how he sees it. And I really want, I can't make you receive it. This is not my message. I'm just the messenger. But I hope you will open it with love for Elohim and say, what do you have for me? I know you have more for me than I've experienced before. And here's the message. He's been having me pull back from the fellowships, from constant, because he wants some one-on-one time with you. A lot more than you've had. I know you all have one-on-one time. This is not a judgment of you from me. This is a message from the Father about what he wants. And I know he's ready to do it with each of you because he is doing it, a new thing with some of us. With me, for sure. I know. Because for the last few weeks with this chew on this, and as I've internalized, that's a thing I'm hoping you're receiving from the Odiot studies that Tiffany's been led to do, that we're going from the external to the internal. And as you internalize these messages, your relationship, my relationship with Abba has changed to the point where when I'm spoken to in my life, that person, whoever it is, has no idea they've interrupted a conversation that's going on all the time now. Like, I thought I knew what pray continually meant, but I had no idea that even the mouth, even pay in Palal, is a receiving organ, mostly, for Yahweh to speak to us. We receive with our mouth. And yes, we speak too. And we share with him. He's our friend. But boy, I think you'll all agree, he has a lot more interesting things to say to us than we do to him. If we're asking him, hey, make your thoughts my thoughts, don't we have to step back and fall back and really take a leap and let go of things that were things what we thought were Kodesh, things that we thought this, that, and the other? Don't we have to really step back to open our minds and hearts to receive more than we ever have before? He said this morning, these chew on this the series, the show more section, what I have you write, what I want them to do, are field trips. They're weekly field trips that actually don't have to end in a week. But a week is the least amount of time it would take for you to go on that field trip and get something really great out of it. Day 1, day 2, every day in the week with that chew on this would be deeper. He'd take you deeper. You think, oh, day 1, boy, that was fun. I've got it now. Yay, thanks, Abba. And if you're really in receptive mode, the next thing he's going to say, I know, because he tells me, well, if you're open, there was more. I'm like, oh, oops, of course. And he keeps going. He keeps causing me to say this. I feel like it can sound showy-offy. But, see, I really don't want that. That's why I have to just trust him to send this message through this and not have it look like, oh, look at me. But one night, the conversation, he was sharing so much, and I got so tired. It was 1 a.m, and I said, Daddy, it pains me to ask you, but can we pick this up in the morning? If we're going to be here in the morning and not completed yet, honestly, I have to sleep. And bam, he was done for the night, and I went to sleep. I don't know how, other than he caused me to go to sleep because I was so excited and worked up, but exhausted. So really, at lunchtime, it's like, oh, I have to think. I have to really concentrate on what Dennis wants for lunch so I don't forget while I'm continuing my conversation with the chew on this. Generally, I'm chewing on it. I'm not giving you random assignment like, oh, I think this will be fun for them. I'm sharing with you what the Father's doing with me and how he's taking our relationship to the most intimate level I could imagine, and it goes deeper every time I think, well, that's it. It goes deeper. And then Tiffany comes out with a new one, and I go deeper with the Father. He takes me because I'm now experiencing it to the point where I just want more and more and more of him, and that's desire. That's the Hidden Knowledge series. That's what it means. I'm just making sure we're showy-offy. Yeah, thanks. Tiffany's laughing. I ever since my computer froze up and I didn't realize it, I get this moment where I'm like, I hope this is going. Oh, good, it's going. So, my last live stream, he had me bring out to the group that we tend as a human race to see loss as bad. If something is taken away that we feel like we needed, we tend to think that is terrible, and how are we going to get it somewhere else? Some other way. Boy, if this person doesn't give it to me, I got to find it from someone else. And I was really hoping that my example of how I could relate to that feeling where my friend said, I don't want you to do that for me anymore. And I had an actual meltdown at a very a defense contractor job. It was embarrassing. I mean, I lost it. And I was actually loud and sobbing in tears and, don't take this away! I need it! I need it! So I was hoping that would come across. That anyone feeling like, pulling back from constant fellowship, pulling back from the comments may have felt like a huge loss. And you know what? It's somewhat of a loss for me too, because I didn't realize until I pulled the trigger on what he wanted me to do, that I too was depending more on it than I thought I was. Whoops. And he taught me to chew on that. It was embarrassing for me with the Father. I felt like I had that meltdown again, except this time right with the Father. I'm like, hey, I guess I did kind of need that. And he said, you don't. Haven't you really been internalizing what I've been teaching through Tiffany? My umbilical cord. It's a direct connection. Direct. It doesn't come from other people. The journey we've been on for the last couple months, that I expect we're all on, is the journey Yahshua wanted Miriam to take. And I said in the last Chew on This, Show More section, chew on what Why Yahshua said to Miriam, "Let go of me." Mashiach came into the scene to reveal the unseen. He wants us to go on field trips with him alone in our own minds. The battle of the mind is won between you and Abba. He's your armor. He's your provision. If you've been watching Tiffany and it isn't, the message isn't truly transforming your relationship, it's not, you're not receiving how, oh my goodness, Palal is in constant receive mode. Whoa. Because he can talk a blue streak if you let him till 1 a.m. and you say, "Please, I need to sleep." "Please, tomorrow, I swear I'll be ready again." He wants us to go from the seen to the unseen with him. That was the chew on this, under the sea. At the surface, there's a lot to see at the surface. You're with each other, you're blah, 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 and it's really concrete. We as humans crave concreteness, and that is to our death. Mashiach came, read John chapter 17, the first 10 verses, before he gets to the prayer. What he came to do. He came to reveal the unseen, that you have an unseen relationship. The only one, no matter how like-minded people are with you and how much time you spend with them, it's not sinful to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But let me remind you, the only one who dwells on the inside of you is Elohim. Not other people who have Elohim, him. And he wants us for a season to step back and develop that prayer life that is continually receiving, tuned to his frequency. These two on this series, they build in the message, and if you're going with it, if you're saying, you know what, I've gripped onto something to the point where it might be an idol in my life. Have we traded one set of rules, one set of idols from church for another? Are we still grabbing on to our own rods? The thumbnail said it all. I put it up almost a week ago, and there was a lot to see in it. And I'm praying that the Father doesn't just have you take a glance at it, look at the time, yep. Look. Have your eyes open all the time. What's here? Why did she pick that? Why did the Father draw her to pay $12 for that cartoon? The nut and the bolt. Hello? The nut and the bolt. Desire, intimacy. I'm hoping that, when Alan, exposed that when Yahshua says to the unwise ones, "I never knew you," he means intimacy. That's a sexual word. Knew you. I said sex again, just in case you've missed it before when I said sex, sex, sex. It's intimate, serious, one-on-one intimacy. I never knew you. These messages are aimed from the Father to you to guide you in that intimate relationship. Because a lot of times people say, well, I'd love to be more intimate with the Father, but how? I don't know what that means. And here he is giving you these show more sections and time to yourself to explore that relationship in a way you haven't before. And no matter how close you are to him today, I hope you wouldn't suggest that you can't go deeper. I'm as deep as I can go with Abba Father, and I'm done now. I just want to coast. I want to stay in the scene. I want to stay in the concrete, because that's easier and more, concrete. I can have coffee with people. I can't have coffee with Abba Father, Yahweh. So I'd rather stay over here. I don't even for a season want to let go and see where he takes me, just me. What does he have for me? If this is jarring to you, good. Let it jar you. Go back. If you're jarred, go back to the first, I've got a playlist, 2 on this. Go to the Show More section and pray about it. Say, Father, I want to go on this field trip. I think I missed it. And the beauty of these field trips is they're always open. It's not that you missed it. It's not that week that it's over. You missed that field trip. He's waiting. He wants to go on that with you in your living experience. They're guided tours of a relationship that goes deeper. That's Gracie. Excuse me. Chew on that for a minute while Gracie chews on her lunch that I forgot to give her. So Gracie's going to chew on her dinner. Hold on. Here. Okay. So we're going to have chewing noises to go along with the chew on this study. Thank you, Gracie, for the sound effects. Okay, I'm back. And he gave me an example of this that is, I think, quite powerful. If you put your guard down, put it down. Intimacy, laughing, all these things. The Father has jokes for you. He has, I'm telling you, he's funny. This is the funniest daddy ever. I think that's why dads are corny and they like to make jokes with their kids and, Dad. Because it's a model of the Father's humor. He's hysterical. He really is. And not just with the pretzel rods. That was just a pretty tame one. But he can be really funny. But regarding this stepping back, a season of really being seriously introspective and not letting anyone or anything interrupt you except what is absolutely necessary, like a meal or something else like that. I'm nervous, that's why. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to share this, but he gave it to me 30 seconds before I hit live, and those are the best ones. They're the most powerful. So here it goes. The disciples were in fellowship. The disciples were in fellowship in the boat on the raging sea. Maybe they were holding hands real tight. Who knows? There was no one around to see these big burly fishermen. So scared they were holding their hands. But whatever, they were in fellowship, tight, in fear, together. Probably feeling like they needed each other real bad. And who came walking out to meet them? But Mashiach. They didn't all jump out in fellowship, did they? One had the courage to let go. He left them. And he had the most intimate, powerful moment with Mashiach maybe any of us have had. Remember Tiffany's study on desire and CoT, and what you reach for is what you really want? And we reach out for Abba Father, Yahweh, because he first reached out to us. We love him because he first loved us. He called us out. We're his own. He wants an intimate relationship with us. He wants us to reach back. And what happened? Kepha left the boat. He left his friends. He left his like-minded disciples, and he got out. And he walked on the water alone. But not alone. Was he alone? He was with Mashiach on the water. And when he started to sink, up went Kaf. And he pulled him out. And you know what happened next? That's right. Yahshua put him in the boat, and they were BAM! At the shore. That's the translation. That's the completion. Get out of the boat. Reach out. If you feel like you're sinking, I need. You don't need anything or anyone but Elohim. That is what Alan meant when he said over and over and over and year after year after year, make Elohim number one on a list of one. Let's go on these field trips. Let's go deeper. And then whenever, if ever, he calls us to change course, we will come together stronger in him, each one of us with more powerful ahav and more of him, more collective oil for having let go. Chew on what you are gripping on. Don't actually chew on a boat. Bad for your teeth. Chew on over with Abba. I love you all so much, and I want what he wants for you. That's the Lord's prayer. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily manna. He is our sustenance. He is our only need. Chew on this with me. With me. We are in this together. We're pulling back and going deeper with our relationship with Abba individually together. Whoops. Let's bow our hearts and thank Abba for our time together. Abba Father, Yahweh, my prayer is always, as you know, that your lambs are fed here what you want them to hear. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I gotta call Vanessa back. She called before she knew we were praying. We'll start again. Hold on. See, it was his will. See, you gotta go with the flow. This is letting go in action.
Hello?
Shalom. This is letting go in action.
So sorry.
No, I was just telling them this is letting go in action. Like, just go with the flow. Abba's having Vanessa call. It's time for Vanessa. So here we are. We'll start again. We'll start the prayer again after. Shalom. You're on.
Amen. Shalom. Oh, okay.
You're on.
You know what? And that was my fault. And the Ruach was laughing at me because
he laughs
earlier. Go ahead and call. And I was waiting because it was so good. I was waiting because I was listening to you.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, he laughs his butt off with us all the time. I know you know that, but
yeah,
I just thought.
And now he's like, I told you.
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to add, or the Ruach wanted to add as well, that, you know, that intimacy, it's a one-on-one, like you said, a one-on-one bonding between you and the Father. If other people are in the room, it's not intimate.
No. It isn't. It isn't.
It's not intimate. And it's a back and forth. It's just like you and I.
There's another one.
When we had a conversation the other, I think it was last week or earlier this week, and I mentioned how it's likened to the perfect example. I think is a married couple, and then the parents and their children. Now, the married couple, if somebody is just talking, if a wife is just, I hate to use this word, but nagging, and her husband has shut down because he's like, I'm so sick of her talking.
Right.
And then she's like, I'm always talking, but you're never saying anything.
Exactly.
Like, well,
hello.
When are you shutting up to hear what he has to say?
That deserved a bell.
And then you could be married for years. Like, people go to church for decades and decades. Do they know the Father? Have they stopped to listen what he has to say? And have they talked back? It's about communication. You talk to your father. You talk to your daddy. Do you know what his favorite color is? You know what his favorite food is to eat? Do you know who your child's best friend is? You don't? Well, maybe you're not listening.
Right.
It's the back and forth. Give them. Abba wants us to talk to him. Like, the perfect word that we keep using is daddy, because that's what he is. He's our Abba. He wants us to get up in his lap and say, Abba, this is what happened today, and then you showed up for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, definitely
talk
talking.
to him.
Yeah, definitely talking is important, but I think we have, as a whole, left out, seen prayer is just talking.
Right, exactly, and that's my
talking.
point. It's a lot of people, it's just talking. We have to also learn to listen and receive what he has for us. And, sometimes, I think you even mentioned this in one of the live streams with you and Alan, that, and Alan actually, in one of his videos, he mentioned this too. People get frustrated because they want the instantaneous answer. Right now, I need it right now.
Yeah.
And then they get irritated. And like you said, oh, well, if I don't have it from this person, I'm just going to go over here to the next person. How great is your desire? How great is your desire? And Abba needs to know, can he trust you? Can you be trusted? No, we don't have comments anymore. But can you be trusted to go to him with your comment?
That's the thing.
Abba, today's live stream was awesome. Thank you so much for that, Abba.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
We don't need the street corner for that.
No, we don't need the street corner. We don't really need the building or the church. We need him.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's not there, but if you ain't got him, what you going there for?
Exactly. It's really a growth exercise. That's what he wants. He wants us to grow in him, not stay where we are. He had to shake things up. Oh,
if
man.
You are, and there was a meme that I love. It's like, if you're feeling uncomfortable with the tribe that you're walking with, that ain't your tribe.
Or even if you are comfortable with the tribe you're walking with, if you're always walking with them and you're craving them and you want to be with them,
right.
That's just as much a problem. It's not about them.
No, it's not about them.
Even if you're like-minded, it's not them on the outside. We're really going inside. We're going introspective. That's where he's been taking us for the last 2 months. I thought we're coming on this journey to the inside.
Amen. And it goes back to what you initially said. Are you seeking him? Because that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Him,
oh, man.
You and him. And he will direct you. But again, it's about the communication. Are you
listening?
Are you just doing the talking and then irritated that he's not responding? Or are you really listening? Or are you listening and not responding?
Right. Oh, thank you so much, Vanessa.
I love you so
I love you too.
Thank you for taking my call last night.
Well, the Father's doing the directing. I'm just
Amen.
doing taking us where the wind is blowing.
Amen.
Oh,
Much
love
ahav,
you.
sis.
Ahav.
Shalom.
Shalom. Oh, thank you for being obedient, sis, and for adding. And I know Abba has something special for each one through your words. Let him unwrap our words and get the concept behind them. We can't give you concepts with our words. Only the Father can show you the message he's sending. And we pray that your heart and mind are open to receiving it, and that you are blessed beyond your wildest imagination from what he's doing with us. Let's bow our hearts again and go to Abba Father and thank him together. Oh, Abba, we come and we bow. We bow continuously, not again. Keep us in a constant state of bowing, like the wheat harvest that's ready for harvest. Cause us to examine ourselves. Cause us to examine everything in a new light. Cause us to be aware of things that seemed good or seem good to us that have possibly become idolatrous calves in our lives. Teach us deep down to our soul toes that we don't need anything or anyone but you. You are our sole provision. Shake us up. Do what you need to do. Discipline us. Teach us. Lead us in your way. Continue to make your thoughts our thoughts. Tune us to your frequency, that our living experiences become constant parables that lead us closer and closer to you minute by minute. If to live is Mashiach and to die is gain, what needs do we have other than you? Teach us down to our core to rely on you and you alone. We love you because you first loved us, and we trust you, and we know that if we fall backwards, your arms are waiting for us. You will not let us fall. If we let go of our own trapeze and we're in the air and we got our hands out for you, you will not let us fall to our death. You are there. You are our salvation. You will not let us fall. Teach us to trust you in ways we have never even dreamed, no matter what it takes. We thank you for the courage to do it, your power. We thank you because we cannot do it in our own strength. We cannot. But in you we can do all things through Yahshua, who gives us his strength to do your will, to allow your thoughts to become our thoughts. If we didn't have your strength and power, I think our minds would totally explode. But instead you renew our minds, and our wineskins get tighter and tighter. Father, we look forward to the day that they burst out and we get new ones. And until then, let us be living sacrifices in every way to you. We pray in you through Yahshua. And everyone who agrees says Amen. Shalom until next time, here or there.